Hey friends, Mark here from the Angular team, and welcome to the Angular v20 show. And listen, we're gonna get started in just a moment with the latest news from the Angular team, including updates to developer experience, performance, tooling, and so much more. But before we get started, I have a few things that I'd like to say. First and foremost, thank you. The Angular community is absolutely incredible. You continue to give us meaningful feedback to help us shape the future of the framework. You submit PRs, you respond to comments, and what's really important is that you continue to use the framework to build world-class applications. The Angular team is committed to giving you the tools to create something great, something special, a framework so that you can create the applications your users will love. All right, that's enough from me for now, but let's hear from our product lead, the one and only Minko Gechev.
Hey everyone, I'm Minko Gechev, product lead for Angular at Google, and I'm absolutely thrilled to announce the arrival of Angular version 20. The past couple of years have been transformative for Angular, as we've unleashed groundbreaking advancements like reactivity with signals and the power of zoneless applications. We bring these foundational changes to life through a dedicated three-phase process. First, we pioneer an early version, then we deep dive, gathering invaluable feedback directly from you, our amazing developers. Finally, armed with insights, we refine these features for maximum impact and stability. Angular v20 is where that dedication truly shines. This release represents countless of hours spent in that crucial third phase, polishing our powerful in-progress features to forge the exceptional, rock-solid developer experience we deserve. We proudly graduate APIs like effect, linked signal, and route-level render modes to stable. Zoneless is moving to developer preview. Know that this is just the beginning. We're already charting the course for the next wave of innovation, laser focused on enabling you to build web apps with an absolute delight. Angular has always been a powerhouse, embedding best practices from day one, a trait essential for apps at scale. We recognize, however, that this power can sometimes feel imposing to newcomers embarking on their first project. That's why our upcoming releases will champion the gradual adoption of these best practices, making Angular's strength more accessible while simultaneously enhancing them for applications of any size. Later this year, prepare for streamlined, selectorless components, bootstrapping developer experience, accelerating build times, and elevating performance. Expressive and robust signal forms, a modern, scalable, and consistent way to handle user input. AI enhancement of your developer experience and more approachable documentation, and so much more. But let's pause and celebrate this milestone, the landmark version 20. For years, I've personally wished for a fun symbol for Angular that I can use maybe as a plushie or a keychain. Our iconic shield is powerful, but perhaps a touch too shielded. So over the past few months, we teamed up with the creative minds behind Dart, Flutter, and Firebase's mascots to spark some amazing concepts for an official Angular mascot. And now the most exciting part. We want you, the incredible Angular community, to co-create our final mascot with us. Head over to goo.gle/angular-mascot-rfc, cast your vote for the concept you love the most, and share your brilliant ideas on how we can make it perfectly capture Angular's unique identity and vibrant culture. Let's build it together.
All right, thanks, Minko. It is inspiring to be surrounded by so many people who are dedicated to serving the Angular community by working to ensure that we put great features into the framework. Also, how exciting is that mascot news? We can't wait to hear your thoughts and amazing ideas. All right, let's keep this party going and check in with the fantastic Alex Rickabaugh as he shares how we're improving the Angular developer experience to help you create apps that your users will love. Alex, over to you.
Hey there, I'm Alex from the Angular team, And what a great time to be a part of the Angular developer community. In order for you to create apps that your users will love, you have to have a developer experience that you love. To ensure that happens, we have some great new features in Angular version 20 that we hope will empower you to create wonderful applications for your users. Let's jump in. It's amazing to think that we introduced signals back in Angular 16. And since then, we've been pushing the boundaries of what's possible with signals in Angular. Signals are changing the way developers manage state in their components. But we're finding that there are still more frontiers to explore with signals. Signals are reactive and can be used for synchronous tasks, but what about asynchronous tasks? You know, tasks where the completion time is unpredictable. That led us to the new resource API, a new primitive for declaring asynchronous dependencies as a part of the signal graph. Using resource, you can access the status, values, and other properties as signals, seamlessly integrating them into your other signal-based logic and templating. But you know us, we knew we could go further, so we also built the new experimental HTTP resource that enables you to reactively make HTTP requests for fetching data. It's built on top of HTTP client, so it supports all of the features you know and love, like interceptors or mocking and tests. Plus, it has the power of signal reactivity. Angular developers everywhere tell us how much they love the new resource primitive. We thought it would be great to make it even better. Now you can stream values from a resource, which is useful when you must stream a response back to the client. As for the rest of the Signal API family, we're happy to announce that link signal, effect, after next render, after render effect, and more have been promoted to stable and are ready to be used in production. With these new APIs and stabilizations in version 20, you might ask us, what's coming next? We're continuing to expand support for signals inside of Angular, and I'm happy to share that we're working on a new signal-based evolution of our form system. We're leveraging signal-based reactivity and other modern Angular features to make building forms easier than ever before. Our goal is to combine the best parts of our venerable template and reactive form styles into one unified form system that scales with an excellent developer experience from the simplest login page to the most complex data tables. And as always, backwards compatibility and interoperability are front and center. We're still working on this project, so be sure to stay connected with us online at angular.dev and on the Angular YouTube channel to get the latest information when updates are available. And we're looking forward to hearing your feedback in an RFC later this year. We have some more quality of life features that we're sure you'll enjoy. Host bindings allow you to bind dynamic values to your host element in components and directives. And we know that Angular developers not only love this feature, but do things like create dynamic expressions for the properties they bind to. There's just one problem though, those expressions aren't type checked, and that can lead to runtime errors. That is, until now. In Angular version 20, we're adding type checking support for both the host property and for the host binding and host listener decorators. Now you can find out if your expressions contain errors during development. But that's not all. We're also updating the Angular language service to support features like syntax highlighting, go-to-definition, and automated renaming inside of host bindings. If you want to try out this great new feature, enable type check host bindings in your project settings to get started. The dynamic component creation APIs provide a powerful way to programmatically create components in Angular applications. While it has been possible to do things like bind values to inputs, there were still opportunities to improve the developer experience with these APIs. So we did. We've expanded Angular's dynamic component creation in a few meaningful ways. First, binding values to inputs is much simpler. Before this update, you'd have to imperatively apply input changes manually, which has been less than ideal. Now, with the latest version of Angular, you can use our new well-defined API to declare input and output bindings at creation, and let the framework handle the rest. The new APIs put inputs and outputs through the same mechanism we use when you bind them in templates. Even better, the new API allows directives to be applied to a dynamically created component. For example, here we're able to apply the active user directive to the user info component. And if you need to bind to the directive's inputs and outputs, that's no problem. You can add bindings when you apply the directive using the same declarative API as with components. In the updated code, we can add the hasColor directive with an input binding. An additional benefit of these APIs is that they're tree shakeable. If you don't use this functionality, it doesn't take up any space in your bundle. These new APIs provide us with a unified way of defining bindings in TypeScript. And we think we can leverage the same approach in the future for other APIs like testbed and host directives. You know, you Angular developers are pretty cool. Maybe we can throw in a few more features for you to check out. In this release, we've also added support for TypeScript 5.8, support for untagged template literal expressions and templates, template HMR is enabled by default, and there's a new schematic to clean up unused imports in your apps. Even with everything I just shared, there's even more available in Angular v20, empowering you to create apps your users will really love. We can't wait to see what you'll build next.
Don't you just love it when someone brings so much good news like Alex just did? I know I do. I also know that many of you were really excited to learn that we're actively building our new signal-based form system. We're definitely looking forward to sharing more updates as we make progress. Developers care about application performance, and so do we. That's why we've been improving Angular in the following way, actually. We have someone standing by ready to give you the details. So, hey Devin, why don't you tell the people more about how they can build faster app experiences that their users will love?
Hey there, I'm Devin from the Angular team. With each of our previous releases, we've made tremendous developer experience and performance improvements. Perhaps you've noticed this yourself with the introduction of features like our new signal-based reactivity model and server-side rendering support. Now, with the features we're releasing in this version, Angular is bringing performance to developers as a default. Through a culmination of several different efforts, Angular v20 will make shipping highly performant web apps easier than ever. But what does that all mean? Stick around and find out. Server-side rendering helps Angular developers deliver highly performant apps. SSR allows you to render pages containing initial page state on the server and ship them to the browser for a faster initial load and better SEO. In v16, we added full application hydration, which reuses server-rendered DOM structures and persists the application state and transfers application data retrieved already by the server. Without hydration enabled, SSR applications would need to destroy and re-render the application's entire DOM. But we didn't stop there. Incremental hydration hit the scene in Angular v19 in developer preview with a clear goal of helping developers ship fast-loading apps because we know how important initial load is in creating an incredible end-user experience. With the power of incremental hydration, developers can choose which parts of a template to delay loading and hydrating until later, reducing bundle sizes and the time to interaction while providing an end-user experience comparable to full application hydration. We are thrilled to announce that incremental hydration is stable as of v20, which means you can confidently reap the benefits of this powerful new feature. To get started, add Provide Client Hydration with incremental hydration to your project's application config. Then, you can use defer blocks with hydrate triggers such as hydrate on, hydrate when, or hydrate never to specify exactly what user events should trigger Angular to load and hydrate deferred content. By stabilizing incremental hydration, we can continue to improve and expand upon this feature set. Check out our incremental hydration guide on angular.dev for more information, and stay tuned to the Angular YouTube channel for more updates on what's next for incremental hydration. You thought that's all we had in store for SSR? Of course not! In version 19, we added route-level render mode config APIs in developer preview that give you complete control over your app's rendering, allowing for optimizations that enhance performance, search engine optimization, and overall user experience, resulting in greater flexibility, built-in internationalization, and a seamless dev server integration. With this new set of APIs, you can explicitly define whether route components are rendered by the server, statically generated, or rendered on the client. And guess what? Angular's route level render mode configuration APIs are being promoted to stable in v20. So go forth and render with confidence. All right, there's a lot of excitement surrounding this next one, so let me get into the zone for this. Or should I say out of the zone? Because in v20, zoneless Angular is moving to developer preview. Zoneless Angular can improve app performance by eliminating unnecessary change detection cycles. Because Zone.js patches browser APIs, it notifies Angular to run change detection in response to any browser event, not just events that resulted in an update to a template in your application. This leads to a lot of unnecessary checks. In a zoneless setup, developers have explicit control over when and how change detection is triggered. For example, by calling mark for check, or by leveraging Angular signals, which inherently know when their state changes and can trigger updates more precisely, making zoneless plus signals a powerful combination. This fine-grained change detection can result in improved performance and improved debugging experience, better ecosystem compatibility, and a smaller JavaScript payload. With zoneless moving from experimental to developer preview, you can get a head start on getting the most out of Angular, and here's how. First, update to Angular v20. Then, add provide zoneless change detection to your project's application config and uninstall Zone.js. That's all you need to get started. Be sure to check out Angular Dev for more details. What would these improvements be without the tools you actually need to monitor and debug your application's performance? Chrome's existing tools like FlameChart can be helpful here, but there's a ton of information in there, so much so that it can be difficult to pinpoint the data you need. If you've ever struggled with this, you'll be glad to hear that we've partnered with Chrome DevTools to create a custom track for Angular developers that surfaces profiling data specific to you and your application. This can be extremely helpful for doing things like identifying code from your app versus other libraries. Want to try it out? First, you'll need Angular v20 and Chrome version 136 or higher. Then, head over to the Performance tab in the latest version of Chrome. Start recording to capture the data you're interested in profiling, and when you're finished, you'll find the relevant data in the Custom Angular tab. That's it. You're one step closer to gaining critical insights into your app's performance in a language familiar to you as an Angular developer. Ready to make performance the default for your application? Update to the latest version of Angular and create apps your users will love.
Devin, thanks so much for those updates. From zoneless to production-ready incremental hydration, we're happy to ship the features that you need to deliver web apps with confidence. Let's turn our attention to Angular's tooling and infrastructure. Angular's tooling has been helping developers build stable, durable apps, and our latest updates continue this tradition. Let's check in with Tiffany to find out how we're improving on a solid foundation. Tiffany, you're up.
If you want to create apps that your users will truly love, then as a developer, you'll need helpful tooling to give you a wonderful experience building and delivering those incredible applications. Guess what? Your friends on the Angular team are here to help. Hi, I'm Tiffany, an engineer on the Angular team, and I'm going to tell you all about what we're delivering in Angular version 20 to make this happen. Let's dive in. Let's talk about every developer's favorite subject, testing. With Karma being deprecated, the Angular team has been focused on finding a suitable alternative. We think the right solution will meet 3 goals we have in mind. It will provide developers with a well-lit path for migrating. It will have strong support in the community. And finally, it will improve the overall experience for developers. This led us to explore some new options. So far, your options have been being able to run tests in Node with Angular's experimental Jest support. For browser testing needs, there's experimental support for Web Test Runner. Yet, we wanted to find a testing solution that worked both in Node and for browser-based testing. In line with the idea, we're introducing experimental support for v-tests in Angular 20. With v-tests, you can run tests in both Node and browser-based environments, and we love to know how this works for you in your projects. Now, we will only be choosing one solution, but you get to help us decide. Try out all 3 test runners and let us know your feedback. We'll be taking this into account as we evaluate which of these to stabilize. To build truly stable and performant applications, valuable insights into runtime behavior are essential. Developers have access to Chrome DevTools and powerful performance insights. But how much better would your profiling experience be if the content was more tailored to you as Angular developers? We have another great DevTools feature you can try out as well. Angular has experimental support for router visualization in Angular DevTools. This gives you a sneak peek into how we're updating Angular DevTools with more and more features that enable you to gain even greater insights into your application during runtime. Like many of our other experimental features, we love you to try it out and let us know what you think as we continue to develop this feature. Here's how you can get started. With Angular DevTools panel open, click on the settings icon and toggle the Enable Router Graph setting to on. And there you go. Here are a couple more notable features you should keep an eye out for in this release. First, we removed Webpack from ng-new, which means we've streamlined the build system and dependencies. We've been able to cut about 40% of the dependencies required for a new app. Not bad, right? And finally, I want to draw your attention to another effort in securing your Angular apps from the start. We've partnered with the Google Security Engineering team to add support for generating content security policies, or CSPs, in production builds with Auto CSP, and landed initial support in Angular v20. Since then, we fixed bugs and made it more stable. What's great is that working with this team to enable Auto CSP aligns us more closely with the secure by design philosophy here at Google. Features like these mean more secure Angular apps by default. Keep an eye out for collaboration posts with the Google Security Engineering team on blog.angular.dev in the future. Let's take a moment to see Auto CSP in action. In angular.json, under the build configuration, you can add Auto CSP with a value of true to enable this feature. When enabled, during production builds, a content security policy will be generated for you and included in your application code. This means that your site is more protected against some security vulnerabilities, like cross-site scripting attacks. As one example, if a malicious actor is able to inject an inline script into the application, our automated CSP configuration will block that script from running. While there are no silver bullets in security, we believe this is a great way to harden your Angular apps and protect your users. Try it out and let us know what you think. With each release, we aim to ship features and updates that make building with Angular an experience you and your users will love. Ready to get started? Update to the latest version of Angular and build something great.
Tiffany, fantastic updates. Thank you so much. You know, with these types of updates, it becomes increasingly clear that you will have the features that you need to create apps your users will love. Well, everyone, thank you so much for wait. What? There's another update? There's another update. Oh, wait, is this Jessica again? It's me. What? How? Okay, so I guess we're gonna see what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's not strange at all. No, not strange. Not a parallel universe, not something out of a space movie. No, not at all. Hey friends, Mark here from the Angular team. Now, on the Angular team, we believe that AI has already changed the way that we work as developers. And what's really incredible is that these are the early days. We haven't even seen the full scope of how development will evolve. As a team, we've been thinking a lot about opportunities to meaningfully incorporate AI and how we can best use AI to bring value to the Angular community. We want to help you build AI-powered applications with Angular and help you to use AI development tools in your workflow. So, with much excitement, we are here to introduce the new home for AI in Angular, angular.dev/AI. This resource is here to help you get the most out of AI as an Angular developer. You'll find guidance, best practices, starter projects, even recipes for how to use AI in Angular. Here's an example of the type of recipe that you'll find on angular.dev/AI. When integrating with AI through something like an in-app chat feature, you may want to stream the LLM response to generate that typing effect. Now, this code snippet shows you how to do that using Angular's Resource API. Now, we've abbreviated the code here, but you can find the full working example on angular.dev/AI. We also have multi-hour development sessions led by the Angular team, guiding you through integration and implementation with AI tools like Vertex AI in Firebase and GenKit. Now, while the content on the site integrates with Google's AI offerings, we've created content that applies to other AI solutions as well. We think you're really gonna like what we've done here and can't wait for you all to check out this new part of angular.dev. Oh, the great things you'll build. Thank Mark? No. Thank me? No. Actually, thank you. Thank you for being a part of the Angular community, and thank you so much for hanging out with us during this very special Angular developer event. Be sure to head over to the Angular blog and get even more updates. You know, Angular version 20 represents a significant milestone in our mission to help you ship web apps with confidence. Whether it's the updates to performance, tooling, everything else, or our new AI home for Angular, we're just really excited to know what you're gonna build next. So that's it for us. Be sure to head over to angular.dev, update to the latest version of Angular, and create apps your users will love.